what's up, Packer Nation? It's the Packer Bros. Back from a 10-hour flight. How you feeling, Bone?
I see you rocking your Brazilian pride.
Had to get it. Had to get something, man. Had to
Yeah,
show my love for the country, Brazil, man. They treated
yeah.
us great, man.
Well,
We'll definitely be back. Let me just say this: all the fear mongering leading up to the game was all BS, man.
yeah,
All of the you can't wear green, and I'll show you. We were literally wore green every day, right?
yeah,
Basically. The cell phone thing. We had our cell phones out. Hell, I had a selfie stick out. Like,
yeah. We saw the spice, but we also saw the beauty of the place. I think
exactly.
it's
It's like,
definitely
yeah,
worth bringing, the female companions back to check it out. And
yes,
to your point, L, make it a week. Make it a week.
yes,
You know what
yes.
I'm saying? If you're gonna take it in.
Yeah, yeah. So in general, it's like any other major city. You had the ultra wealthy, which you'll see in our videos. They had malls with Gucci and Prada and Balenciaga and all that stuff in there. Then they
Mm-hmm.
had the hoods on the other end.
Yeah,
We saw some hoods. So,
yeah, yeah.
and then everybody else in between, the middle class, working class, whatever you want to call them. That's the majority, just like any other first world city.
Right.
And in terms of calling them third world, absolutely not. Man, this is a metropolis.
I guess now's a good time to transition into the game day, what we all came to talk about. I'm gonna let you set it off, L, but there's so much ground to cover, man, with this first game. A lot of pitfalls, but then a lot of promise too. Um, and we got one glaring thing that's just staring at all the Packer Nation, like, man, what is gonna happen with J Love?
As everyone knows, Packers lost 34-29. It was a good, close game, and there was many ways we should have won that game early. We should have won. We
Early.
should have put the foot down on them early and been cruising in that second half.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the offense first. Offense started off pretty good, man. We were moving the ball, a lot of explosive plays, but some drop balls, man. We had some drop balls early in the game, and that hurt us on that first touchdown to Christian Watson. What happened with that one?
The first score, not the one that came off the board, because I'm still frustrated thinking our first two possessions, we got in the end zone and the plays got called back because of penalties.
I'm thinking of that play where Watson kind of ran. It was something like a corner route into the end zone,
Mm-hmm.
and he just didn't fight for the ball, man. And just dropped it. I'm thinking if that was a Romeo or something, he just would have went up and snagged the ball.
Yeah.
He just
Well,
dropped it. Should have been an easy touchdown.
Yeah. And post game, we talked about it. It's like, Doc, how you 6'5" playing like you 5'9"?
Exactly. Like, and I like Christian. I like him. Come
Yeah.
on, man. You're a big dude, man.
Oh yeah.
Go get the ball. Go get it.
Make it happen. Yeah. High point, you taught that from your youth up.
Right.
And you gotta, at that point, man, if it's a jump ball situation, transfer your skills from the hoop court over onto the football field. Box that dude out, man, and go up for two hands like you want the rebound.
That's what I'm thinking. You took the words right out of my mouth. I need to look up. Did he play basketball back in the day? Because he don't football like he used to hoop.
Yeah. Well, again, with Northern Iowa, North Dakota State, I don't care to think about they, players and they pedigree, what they come from. Yeah, I ain't had no love for the dude until he was donning the other green. You know what I'm saying? Not the NDSU. But yeah, that'd be interesting to know. Did dude hoop? And he grew up in the Twin Cities. So you would think, brothers out of many.
Nah, he's from Florida. He's from somewhere in Florida.
No. At the Twin Cities.
You sure? Let me look it up. You talking Christian Watson, right?
Christian Watson. Yeah.
Let me look it up.
No, you're right. High school. He went to Tampa. Okay.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah.
I thought it was Tampa.
But yeah, this dude, if he was a dual or multi-sport athlete, he got to start playing like it, man. I mean, you got to be a grown man among little boys, even in the league, with all those physical traits.
Right.
I mean,
right.
You look at Jay Reed, dude is probably 5'9", but he playing monstrous, you know.
And there's a transition. We go from Christian Watson on missing that first touchdown to Jaden Reed showed his ass on Friday Night Football, man. Literally, welcome. If you didn't get him in fantasy, you missed out because he balled out.
For real.
Yeah. Now, that first touchdown got called back. What was the call? It was
that one. Well, that was because Romeo was still on the field when the ball was snapped. J Love was trying to catch them offsides, and I think it ended up being an offsetting penalty. They had to replay the down. But it's like, man, you know, you got to have a sense of urgency, man. When you ain't on the field, you got to be sprinting to the sideline. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking, and I knew what Love was trying to do because, you know, Rodgers was so great. Right. Yeah, he was so great at doing it. He learned from his mentor. Yep. But he didn't check to his right to see if everybody on our sideline was clear, you know. And
that ain't on Love, though. You got to get off the field. You got to get off the field.
This is true. But that just goes to show, man. Remember on Hollywood Shuffle when they was doing the movie reviews? You know what I'm saying? The thumbs up, the high five, the middle finger. Mm-hmm. Man, I got to give every aspect of the team the middle finger, man, for all those penalties.
Penalties killed us, dude. Killed us.
Yeah, I mean
that was 7 points right there. Yeah.
Right there. And like you mentioned, we could have opened this game up in the first two possessions and it could have been a wrap. We could now, again, the Eagles was getting coached to win. Saquon Barkley was a dog.
He probably wouldn't have had as many carries if we had a big lead, though.
Right.
To throw the ball.
He would have had to throw the rock. But man, yeah, them first two possessions, not getting those scores, man, that hurt. That hurt.
And you know what? I'm going to give the middle finger. That's what we're going to call our segment, the middle finger instead of the middle
finger. Here we go, the middle finger.
I'm giving it to the coaching. That's on coaching all them penalties, man. They didn't have enough reps in training camp. They didn't have no real live reps in preseason. Like, come on, man. 12 men on the field. It was a legal procedure with Musgrave and no motion when Reed was. Pushed us back. Like, this stuff should have been taken care of in training camp and in preseason games.
Yeah.
They didn't have enough reps. Coaches wasn't on them. But that's the type of stuff, even when we played back in the day, our coaches would have been on us about them discipline penalties. Like, that could have been prevented. Like, I'm blaming the coaches for all those penalties, man. Babysitted them all training camp. They weren't ready. And that's on coaching.
And you know what? That's kind of been the MO with Coach LaFleur, man. Sitting cats, even going back to when we still had Rodgers, we just never look in sync the first couple games. And again, I could attribute that to not having those real-time game rep. You know, the speed of the game in preseason clearly ain't the same as it is during the season. Right. But having those opportunities to work out the cobwebs, man, or dust off the cobwebs and work out the kinks, you got to give your guys a fighting chance before the game starts. And that's in the preseason, you know, before the games that matter starts during the preseason. But yeah, no, I concur with that, man. Middle finger to the coaching staff. Middle finger to the kicking game. Again, yeah. You know, it's those field goals in those close moments, man, that really matter. Kept us from advancing against the San Francisco Niners. Kept us from getting a dub, I say, this past Friday. You know, what's up with our kicking situation, man? Why has Packers special teams been so abysmal to off and on for about the last 5 years?
You know what? I agree with most of what you said, but I'm going to give that dude a game ball. I'm going to have a counterpoint for you.
Okay.
First of all, he didn't have a training camp with him. We brought him in off waiver wires from another squad. Which kicking is the same anywhere. I get that.
Yeah.
However, he made 3 or 4 kicks, crucial kicks. And the 4th kick he missed, He made it before, but we got a penalty that
Yeah.
called it back, and then he came back and missed it. So once again, if we didn't get that penalty, he would have been 4 for 4. So for a rookie, undrafted, free agent, first game, new team, I thought he did pretty well. He did better than the people in training camp did.
Yeah. Okay. I might look flighty, but I'm gonna continue with the middle finger going back. You gave the game ball, to the kicker.
I ain't give the game ball yet. Well, yeah, I guess I did. I just gave it to the kicker. Okay, go ahead.
So, middle finger, coach. Coaching 101, man. You never take points off the board.
Ooh, forgot about that. That was first quarter, right?
Yeah, I mean, you, and I understand you're looking at having to go for 2 points later on in the game versus right now, but you had the money on the table. Why take the money off the table and bet bigger and then lose? That's what happened. You look at the 2-point conversion that we went for after we had the extra point. That's basically a 3-point turnaround. And then you look at that missed field goal. That right there, man, is
5 points.
Yeah,
tie game right there. Yeah.
Right. We talked about it in the stadium in the fourth quarter when it was like a little under 8 minutes left in the game. Like, hey, if the defense does what they're supposed to do, there's going to be 3 more possessions in this game. Eagles will have 2, we'll have 1. The way we were moving the ball and the way, the big plays were happening for us, I had no doubt that with that one possession, we would have went ahead, because at that point, it wasn't the final score. We still were within distance of pulling away from these guys or going ahead. And, that time of possession, man, they just milked that clock. And we only got that one last possession when, Love ended up getting injured. So taking points off the board, the missed field goal, but the penalty, because again, we had it. I totally forgot about that. It was just, man, mismanagement, I think, on the staff's part. Not having guys prep.
I never understood going for 2 so early in the game anyway. Like, what was the purpose of going for 2 at that point? It was like the first quarter. Like, just get your points. And obviously, later in the game, if you need to make a strategic decision to go for 2, then do it. But that early made no sense to me. Just get your points.
Yeah.
Or better yet, don't take it off the board. Or, we already had the 1 point. So, yeah, I totally agree with you there. Rest of the offense. So we couldn't run the ball in the first half. What do you think about that?
So first half, man, I didn't pay close enough attention to see who was being shuttled in and out on that offensive line, but it was good.
Right guard, they shuffled in Jordan Morgan and Sean Ryan. They were sharing right guard duties that game. So I don't know who got beat or whatever. We have to rewatch the film or whatever, but they were shuffling different that position in and out.
Yeah. No, normally, and for those who, going to take the time to watch our vlog here, I will be more on point looking at the cut-ups and the breakdown of the run game and the pass pro from the offensive line standpoint. But yeah, we weren't able to move the rock initially, but the second half, Jacobs looked like the dude that we spent the bag to get.
Yes.
But Wilson, I mean, dude averaged almost 12 yards a carry. I'm just surprised that he didn't get the rock that much. And it's like, again, middle finger to the coaching staff, LaFleur. You did the same thing with Jones. Get that man the rock, feature him.
If he's hot,
yeah.
Well, keep going to the well.
So I don't understand it. Definitely with Jordan Love being out, possibly, a whole month, right? We're going to have to depend on the run game
yes.
until Willis gets comfortable. Because again, like the rookie undrafted kicker, Malik didn't really have the benefit of spending a whole training camp with us, so the verbiage is all new, concepts all new, cadence and, timing and everything is going to be different. That run game is going to have to show up and carry us until Jay Love gets back.
Agreed. And he was hot that first half. Wilson. And I didn't know he's a big guy. He's just as big as Dylan. Or runs is harder than Dylan at least.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. He's hitting those holes hard, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I always thought our interior line, center and right guard, that's where we normally get the most penetration or don't get penetration on the run. So I think that was our problem first half, personally. Like, we're pretty good, Elton Jenkins, he's gonna do what he do. But center, right guard, I think that we were having a little bit of problems with that in the first half. I think that's what slowed down the run game. But second half, Josh Jacobs shot. I ain't gonna lie, I never watched Josh Jacobs play that much AFC West. I'm taking a nap around that time. But he was patient hitting the hole in the second half, man. He was like finding his holes, didn't explode through it, and finished with nice power. I like the way he ran the ball, man. That was my first time really watching him. And I like the way he was patient finding spots to hit the holes,
man. I didn't pay attention to pass pro. I'll just be real, man. I was caught up in the moment of being in the stadium, checking out, all the songs. So and we were up pretty high, although it was a good view. I didn't pay attention to his pass pro. I didn't pay attention to the routes, mostly just check downs and swings out of the backfield. And so I'm doing a disservice in this vlog, because again, didn't really pay as close attention.
Bear with us. We did these 10-hour flights, y'all. So we will get more in depth going forward, but just from pretty much a fan perspective from the stands is what we're giving you this week. But also, let me just tell you this, because I didn't give the background on our first episode. Terry is our resident defensive specialist and actual dude who played major football. He played 3 years starting, correct, at Northern Iowa as a safety. He's played against NFL players you all have known and had teammates that also made the NFL. So he's legit. He knows what he's talking about on both sides of the ball. So he's our expert. Yeah, so offense, Dontavian Wicks had a couple drops, man, that first half. That was a little disappointing. Come on, man. I'm looking forward to you stepping up this year. Jaden Reed looked good. Tucker Kraft had a couple catches. Musgrave didn't play. I saw the snap count. I think Kraft had 80% of the snaps over Musgrave.
I wonder what was going on with that.
Well, a couple things. You missed this. That play on that 12 men on the field was Musgrave. He was pussyfooting getting off the field.
I saw that, and I also saw Romeo.
Okay, so maybe it's two.
So it was like we had 13 on the field.
Yeah, so he's probably in the doghouse for that. That illegal motion, I believe that was Kraft, though, so I can't blame that on Musgrave. But I watched, a couple of the press conferences after the game, and they were like they're going to get a better balance between Kraft and Musgrave going forward. But yeah, he didn't get a lot of snaps in that game. But Kraft looked pretty good, man. He played hard. I always like the way he finishes with the ball. He plays tough. Got to look on his blocking again. But he had that penalty on that illegal motion, though, that called back. Pushed his back on the play too, though. But Reed, obviously, he got off. Dobbs was quiet. Did he get any? I don't recall him getting too much anything.
So he caught that slant in the red zone right before we scored, going into the end zone on our end. I know that he had the most targets. He was targeted 7 times.
Oh, okay.
Right. And so the distribution of the ball was beautiful. I mean, and it was stair-stepped. I mean, like Dobbs again was at 7, and then it was 6, 5, 4, like all the way down. 34 passing attempts. He was 17 to 34, 50%. The 2 touchdowns, interception. So 50%. J Love, we got to do better than that.
How many drops though? Some drops.
Yeah. Now some were thrown behind.
Oh yeah.
Some were thrown below. But yeah, there's a fair share. And again, going back to football 101, just any hood dude will tell you, man, if it touch your hands, you gotta have it. You gotta have it. I don't care if it's behind you, if it's below you, if it's above you, if it touch your hands, man, you gotta have it. Or give me 20 right there on the sideline.
Right. Thing is, and I read this afterwards.
Okay.
Because I was kind of mad at there was one drive in the second half where Love threw behind the guy and he dropped it, and then he threw the next one in the dirt. And I'm like, come on, Jay Love, what's up with that?
Yeah.
But it could have been his footing on that terrible field too. I got to look back to see if he had good footwork on that play. I'm not sure, but from the stands, I saw us slipping a lot. Didn't really realize the Eagles were slipping as well. But afterwards, I heard people complain about how bad the field was. So that could have also been a problem with J Love with his inaccuracy that game too.
Right. And the injury he sustained could have been exacerbated because of the poor field conditions. That could go either way. I mean, if it's a slick surface, you're not getting your foot planted into that ground, so the torque, with the hit that he sustained, if it had been a better surface, it could have been worse because his foot was planted. But if the foot was sliding as he was taking that contact, that might have saved him. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's a catch-22. Man, yeah, that field was horrible. And I did see, like you and everybody else, after the game, the articles, the interviews, they were like, man, that field was definitely designed for soccer, from the pitch to the actual conditions of the field. Wasn't made with American true football in mind.
Right. And again, from the game, I'm watching the Packers. And I'm like, man, we slipping all over the place. But afterwards, there was a ton of Eagles fans down there too. Shout out to Philly people. You were great, nice as well. But they were complaining about their side slipping a lot, which obviously we really weren't paying attention to. So yeah, the field was a problem, but for both sides of the ball, both teams. So
now, if we could transition to the defense.
Let's go. Let's do this defense, man.
Again, just as a fan observing, I felt even with Quay Walker having the number of tackles that he had, he played way too high and got on skates, and his form fitting was just way bad,
I saw him get caught up in the muck a lot, man. Couldn't shed his blocks, man. I'm like, come on, man, get that dude up off you.
Yeah. Our safeties, man, Buller got all, most of the snaps. McKinney, he looked great, Bullard and Walker led the team in tackles. I think they both had 11, so for a rookie safety to come in and do what he did, I'm impressed. But we got a sea of plenty. The safety room was kind of suspect last year, although the last couple games, when we got hot, they look good. But right now, we have riches at the safety position.
Man, we turned that around in a heartbeat. Yes.
Man, corner on the other hand, Zaire, man, you know.
That's gonna be my defensive. What's the one? I don't want to give him the middle finger. What's the one a little better than that?
Man.
Because he was up and down, man. But
man,
he had some missed tackles. He got beat by Brown. I don't know about taking it out of the end zone and interception. Come Ja, you my guy, man. But I don't know, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, but I will say this in his defense. When he got that pick, defense is always taught, man. Sudden turnover, defense becomes offense. You look for somebody with that opposite hat and you put it on them. Cats was standing around. It's like you see what he thinking.
Because he's standing there waiting. Yeah.
He's sitting there like, man, is somebody gonna throw a block? So right. He was like, man, skip it. I'm gonna go for what I know. And he literally probably was only a block or two away from taking that 105 yards to the house. Maybe I'm being nonsensical. You know what I'm saying? In play review. But if we go back and look at it, man, he really only had about two players to beat.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and look at that play because at one point it looked like everybody was just standing still. He's waiting for somebody to block. Philly's like, what is he gonna do? You know, everybody just standing there. The refs like, well, we ain't blowing the whistle yet, so it was just kind of everybody just standing there waiting to see what's gonna happen. So
yeah,
I don't know if he had the numbers or not, but it was late in the game. He was making a gamble, and that's what makes Ja. You know, he's gonna try to go for the big money play.
Yeah,
and that's probably how he got beat on that touchdown too.
Trying
a little move on him, and I ain't gonna put it all on him because the safety bit too. He should have had help over the top, and I saw him get spent around also on that touchdown. So
same thing with that McDuffie. You know, when Saquon came out the backfield on that wheel route. I don't know what defense they were in. If they were in a man call, but I did see a safety, and I'm not sure which one, or a defensive back in the vicinity. You know, the help over the top. Again, big shout out to the safeties. They played lights out, I thought. Could have did a little bit better at protecting the middle, field. Was it that first drive in the second half? No, that was a post corner. I think that Ja got beat on running it. It was a post corner route. So yeah, that end of the back end of the field, he was supposed to defend on his own. But that was the only piss poor open field missed tackle that I saw. Was the start of the second half. That drive where they came out and bust us in the head.
I recall Eric Stokes getting caught up in the muck too.
Was that Stokes?
He might have slipped. It was one where Eric Stokes slipped though, so it was a little tough. Ooh, Keyshawn Nixon came up with a nice tackle too. It was
on Hurts.
Yeah, that was a big time tackle there. I give him props for that one too.
Yeah.
But tackling could have been better this game.
Yeah. We only got the one sack, and Rashawn, we expect him to get home. We made the pocket collapse. How many knockdowns, how many hits did we get on old dude?
Well, that could have been by design too. Keep him in the pocket,
Right.
So you can't go rush upfield and let him just run wild on us. And for the most part, we bottled them up until that final drive. So I think that was kind of by design. A little bit of rush. Maybe the interior lineman had to, free spirit to rush them, but I think the ends had to, contain a little bit.
Yeah.
So, I think that was kind of by design. We'll see this week too if they play the same defense, but I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt that they were like trying to kind of spy on Hurts, getting outside of the pocket or something like that. But so one sack. I need to see how many pressures we had that game, but we would have liked a couple more sacks, especially towards the end. But I'll probably agree with you. Maybe I would have liked a little bit more pressure on him.
Yeah. I was just going to ask if you was giving out your game balls. You already gave one out to the kicking game.
Okay, game balls. So let's wrap this game up. It's in the past. So game balls, I'm going with our kicker. I forgot his name, man. My bad. I'll figure it out.
Anders.
And no, that's dude we cut.
The dude we cut.
That's dude we cut. Yeah.
I think our brightest spot was on offense. It was Reed.
Yeah, that's the low hanging fruit. You know, he
I,
got off. We know that one. Yeah,
that,
he got off.
and I'm projecting him to be, you know, if he continues at this pace, stays healthy, not just a Pro Bowler, but an All Pro. I mean,
And this is nothing new because he was pretty much did all this last year as a rookie. You know, he was a leader or one of the leaders of the team in receptions, yardage, the whole nine. So he's just doing what he did last year. He's just getting better.
Dude is for us the second coming of Randall Cobb. You know.
Yes. Yeah, we finally got our slot guy. Yes.
Yeah. I can't give big game balls to anybody on defense necessarily because we still surrendered a lot of points.
That's a good point. We gave up over 400 yards too. Yes.
Yeah, we surrendered a lot of yards. The time of possession, we didn't get off the field on critical, you know, third downs, third and big sticks, third and shorts. Although that wedge, you know, quarterback sneak, we did stop a couple times, and you know, so I would give the interior defensive line big props for stopping that because people be like, man, that should be illegal. They shouldn't even be. That's like Pop Warner middle school play. It's been effective for the Eagles, but we shut it down, I think, 2 out of 3 times.
Surprisingly, yeah, I was surprised we stopped that because nobody stops that little tush push play. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna just stick with the obvious, and a game ball is just a single game ball. You know, you don't get one because you're on the offensive or the defensive side, kicking. I'm gonna give my game ball to Reed, man. I felt like he single-handedly with his big plays put this team on the shoulders and kept us in it.
I gotta agree. I tried to get somebody else, but yeah, Jay Reed was head and shoulders above everybody else in that game. Stood out and literally could have put the game away early if we played better. So yeah, that's the game ball. We just stick with that.
Looking ahead, Indianapolis, you know, similar situation with their quarterback and Hurts. He can hurt you with his feet. At least at the college level, deep ball threat, big arm. You know, it's basically they don't have the explosive athletes, the coach that is on the perimeter that the Eagles had, you know. But in terms of threats on the field, scheme wise, we're looking at something very, very similar.
Yeah. So I mean, Richardson, he's a dual threat quarterback. So we got to contain him. We're gonna have to spy him on one of our linebackers. Hopefully, we see more Edgerrin Cooper. He got in a little bit last game. He had 4 tackles and a pass defense. 3 solo. So hopefully, he gets more snaps this week. Because we're gonna have to contain Richardson because he's gonna run the ball as well. Let's get our most athletic linebackers in the game, and let's ball out because
or a combination of linebacker safety.
That too. We got to get Evan Williams in there, because he's a playmaker also. So if that means taking out one of these slot corners and putting in a safety, we might have to do it. We're gonna call this "Who Needs to Step Up" next week.
Who needs to step up? I think the defense needs to step up, and I think our QB2 needs to step up. You know, Malik, we're not asking you to win the game, just manage the game and don't lose the game.
Yeah. I'm gonna go piggyback on what we said earlier. I want to see more pass rush. I need y'all to step up, man. Like I saw Kenny Clark get mauled out of there a couple times in a couple of Saquon runs, man. They double teamed that dude. It was like, got him straight out of his gap. So come on, Kenny. You are guy, man.
That dude, man.
Yeah,
you got the bag.
So I'm gonna need y'all to step up this week, man. So what's your predictions, man? What you looking for this Colts Packers game with a backup quarterback who's been here for 2 weeks? Is it good for us?
Man, I think we're gonna take our lumps over the next few weeks. That's just me being a realist. But if we can get Love back when we play the Vikings, you know, we can still make a run for a wild card spot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't really watch the AFC like that, so and I've never really seen Malik Willis play. I mean, obviously, he didn't even have that many games that he played. I think he only started 4 games or something like that. But
got more interceptions than he got touchdowns.
Yeah, so
that much I do know.
Obviously, we're gonna have to run the ball. So, but our opponent's gonna know we're running the ball, so it's gonna be stacked boxes. So. Looking forward to Josh Jacobs. Like, he got the bag too. So we're going to have to lean on him and the rest of our running backs by committee to try to pull something out. I figure it's going to be a lot of short passes, maybe some quick outs, a lot of tight end work, maybe some screens, keep the ball easy passes for him getting started. So that's what I'm expecting. If he can pull off a game, it's going to be this week or next.
This one
or the Tennessee, so.
His quote unquote revenge game.
Yeah. So I think we got a shot, man. If we can keep if the defense steps up, we're gonna need defense to slow down Richardson, obviously slow down Jonathan Taylor. That's a big one.
Yeah.
After what Saquon did, you're gonna see. Yeah. So we need that. I'm gonna give us a shot, man. I think we're gonna win this game 24-21, man. That's a lot of points. We scored 24 points.
Yeah. Let 20-17. 20-17. That's my pick.
Yeah. It's gonna be tight. If we win, it's gonna be a nail biter. I'm gonna give us the 3-point spread at home in Lambeau, and Josh Jacobs just gonna bring us to victory. I'm being a Packer fan right now.
Wow.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, y'all. But if we're gonna win a game, it's gonna be this week or next. So, what you got, Brown?
Yeah, I got us pulling off the dub at home, 20-17. I'm predicting, better special teams play, better defensive play, and ground game touchdowns versus scores through the air.
We go from there, right?
Hey, 41st Street for life. Go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go. Shout outs to Brazil one last time. It was a great time. And let's get this victory.
Yes, sir.
Talk y'all later. Go Pack, go.